Hello, it is World Wide Web Wednesday, June 3rd, 2020. Steve Sipress here, once again catching just the very tail end of another great sunset on another record-setting day here with temperatures. I think the high was around 111 or something ridiculous like that here in sunny Arizona. And for about a week now, the sun is just barely still up, but so is our friend the moon. Nearly a full moon at that. And if you hear some kind of water sounds in the background, my beautiful wife Michelle is taking a little moonlight dip. There she is, waving hello in the back. And so that's what you do when the temperatures are over 110. You're in the pool practically all 24 hours every day. But I digress. World Wide Web Wednesday, and let's talk about the internet here. And undoubtedly, you are aware that since the great shutdown began several months ago, all in-person events of any kind, almost anywhere, just seemed to disappear overnight. I had a couple of events scheduled. I was scheduled to speak at other people's events, and I got the call from the venue, hey, we're canceling your event. I'm like, what? Trump just came out and said no meetings of more than 10 and you're out. And already big conventions and conferences were on the brink of being canceled. They were canceled. What's it called? The March Madness, that whole tournament was canceled. And Major League Baseball spring training ended abruptly with 2 weeks to go. That's all canceled. And NBA ended, and hockey, and on and on and on. Everything was just canceled. The concerts, anything at all. Right? So now you see musicians playing in their home studios on YouTube or on a Facebook Live, where I am like this, which if you ever want to join me, you head over to facebook.com/smallbizhelp. That's why I record these. You can come on and say hello anytime. You can interact. Dog Jeremy Danley is here. Look at that timing. And so I had a coach years ago that said, look, live events does not just mean in person. You got to differentiate. Stop calling them live events. I've hosted a lot of live events, live seminars. He goes, look, if you're doing a webinar and you're doing it and people are showing up and you're doing it live, that's a live event. I'm doing a live video right now. That's a live event. So he coached me to differentiate, and I've coached my clients to do the same, and not just to call in-person events live events. He said, call them in person or online. So that's what we're talking about here, is the world has shifted temporarily in the extreme. Everything is online and nothing is in person, or just about. Now we're reopening again. But of course, it's still, I think you can still get arrested in a whole bunch of cities and states for going into your own business and opening it up and serving customers. But people, if they just kind of break into your place and take everything, well, they can't get arrested. But I digress. Or if they get arrested, they get released immediately and they can do it again the next night. Hopefully that's all ended as I'm recording this video, although my fingers are not crossed. There's still a lot of anger, and there's a lot of egging on and supporting of rioting. I see a mayor came out and said, I'm not going to risk the lives of my police officers just to protect someone's property. Property is just property. These are people's lives. I'm like, what? That's hello? Anyway. So, in-person events are off the table for the time being, just barely opening up again. So live events have moved online. Speaking of Dog, who's here, and I see Greg is here, and Tom is here, and George is here, and a bunch of other people. Jeremy's entire business got disrupted for well over 20 years. He's been one of the top comedians touring all over the country. Well, all dates canceled as of a few months ago. And he also is the top marketer for bars and restaurants, helping them get butts in seats, as they say in the industry, getting people in the door to live in-person shows. And that, of course, also went by the wayside. So he made an immediate, dramatic, and spectacular transformation into doing online shows. And now he hosts I'm going to get it wrong, but it's something like the online, the Takeout Comedy Bingo, I think it's called, or Takeout Comedy. Oh, okay, something like that. Oh, and there's some likes from Jared. Maybe I got it right. Takeout Comedy Bingo. He does several shows a week, adding more all the time. People get to go to get a takeout order. They get a bingo card. He does a whole comedic performance and a show and draws the numbers. They win prizes. Everybody has a blast. Place makes more sales. That's likely to continue even after restaurants open up. It's not going to replace restaurants, but it's likely to continue. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of these online events are going to continue because people love them. People love working from home is going to continue. A lot of companies, a lot of big tech companies said, oh, we're going to let people work from home forever. Well, that means a lot of meetings are no longer going to take place in person in cubicles in an office or a conference room somewhere. They're going to take place still live meetings, but they're going to take place virtually, online, right? So it's not there's a saying I'm famous for, I live in an and world, not an or world, and that certainly applies to meetings. It's not a question of either in person or online. It is right now, of course, temporarily. We still have the great shutdown going on and all kinds of chaotic reopening and non-reopenings going on. But once this chaos all passes and things are back open, it doesn't mean that online events are going away. Many groups, networking groups, work meetings, online events, all kinds of stuff are still going to be taking place online, even if they also do something back again in person. But online events not going away. Speaking of which, see a couple of questions. There it is, of course. Thank you, Dog. It's the carry-out comedy bingo show. What did I call it? The takeout? Yeah, that doesn't, it's not alliterative. That's not, Dog wouldn't do that. Dog's much smarter than me. I would have called it takeout comedy bingo, and that doesn't even sound good. Carry-out comedy bingo. Now that sounds good. And the area is always be marketing. I love it. It's telling everyone right there, so I will tell everyone that can't read the comment if you're watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever else I put it. The first week of his service is totally free for any pub and grub to test drive. Any bar and grill, pub and grub, whatever you want to call it. Any bar, restaurant type of deal that wants to do takeout. First week totally free? Totally free? Okay, that's what I call, that's the middle letter, by the way, of the WOW strategy. The O stands for the irresistible offer. If you own a bar and grill, a pub and grub, a restaurant that also serves food and drink, and has entertainment, I mean, you're out of your mind. If you don't say, what the heck, I'll take a top national, over 20-year experienced comedian to entertain my people and get them to buy more stuff from me. And again, like I said, even when these places open up again, why would they ever not continue the carry-out comedy bingo show? And thank you, Dog, to get that free week. And I love how he says to test drive it as if you would ever stop doing it. But okay, test drive it. That's like testing gravity. Let's see if I drop this phone, if it actually falls down. Let me test it to see if it doesn't work suddenly, okay? His thing works, okay? You make more sales, your people are happier, you make more money, they win prizes. There's nothing to lose. First week is free. Go to carryoutcomedybingo.com. Carryoutcomedybingo.com. I'm shocked that URL was available. A little sarcasm there. That's excellent marketing again by Jared Dog. You come up with a few possible names for your business, your enterprise, or your new stream of income or whatever. Then you head over to a registrar site like a GoDaddy.com and you look for the URL to be a perfect match. And if it's taken by somebody else somehow, you kind of change the name of your company a little bit so you get a perfect match so people can remember. Although I am not a good example, clearly, because I didn't remember the actual name. But if they remember Carry Out Comedy Bingo, where do you go to find out about it? Well, carryoutcomedybingo.com, dude. See, now back in the day before the internet, my first multi-million-dollar business, I'll just get off on a tangent here, I called it Simulated Sports Services. It was a fantasy sports company. Grew within 3 years of me starting it, by the way, from scratch. Grew the largest in the industry. And I say industry, kind of kindly, because pretty much still back then in the 80s, nobody heard of the thing, and there were no home computers and whatever, so it was a little-known thing, but it's nice to be number one. And there were a whole bunch of companies, and they were like, wow, you came out of nowhere, and you passed all of us, and what the heck? And then, of course, they started copying everything I was doing. Didn't matter. As Ray Kroc of McDonald's fame always said, I can innovate faster than they can copy. And that's just what I did. But anyway, when I named the company, then I looked for phone numbers. And back then, there's no internet, so that didn't matter. But getting an 800 number that spelled out a word, right? There's a company, 1-800-GOT-JUNK. There's a 1-800-FLOWERS. There's a bunch of companies that if you get an 800 number that spells something, boom. That's the pre-URL way of doing it. And so I called up and said, is this number available? Is this number? No. And I finally came up with one. And my number was 1-800-TEAM-SSS for simulated sports services. And so Team SSS, 1-800-TEAM-SSS was my number. And I would have I wanted, I forget what I wanted, but I, kept changing the name of the company or the name of the game or whatever so I could get it to match that phone number. Dog's done the same here with carryoutcomedybingo.com. So there's a bonus tip for everybody. Get the name of your company or the biggest benefit of it. Say you're a plumber. You don't want to get HossenPfefferPlumbing.com. Nobody will remember that. Nobody cares. Doesn't spell anything. Nobody knows how to spell it. You don't want that. But maybe bestplumberInToledo.com. Go ahead and get that. And if that's taken, then say topplumberInToledo.com, and then name your company that, Top Plumber in Toledo, and put that on all your trucks and drive around with them. And back to the tip of the day, World Wide Web. So online, in-person events, right now it is kind of one or the other during the great shutdown, even though I thought before the whole world changed about a week ago that everyone was focused on reopening and coming back out of it. And now, what a shame, some businesses that weren't even open and teetering on the brink of disaster, getting ready to reopen, and then their windows get smashed and their whole place gets wrecked and their life savings is gone. But that's America. That's the way it is. And the good news is they'll start something new, because that's what entrepreneurs do. We move on and we figure out something else to do. Speaking of which, when all my in-person events started getting canceled, including workshops and mastermind groups, I launched, and I'm launching tomorrow, my first ever all virtual mastermind, which I have run masterminds, the All-Star Entrepreneur Mastermind that Dog has attended. I ran it all over the country for years and got top entrepreneurs showing up all over the place and meeting each other and making deals and building relationships and getting advice and getting tips and, exchanging. Here, I'll give you my free software and you can have this and, blah, 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 and all kinds of great stuff happening and a lot of fun happening. Obviously, those aren't happening right now, so I have launched an all virtual mastermind. And I'm launching it tomorrow with a fantastic superstar group of entrepreneurs. I am so totally excited. I've spoken, of course, individually to each one, doing an interview to see if it's a good fit. But finally, tomorrow, I get to introduce them to each other and unleash the fantasticness as they all start helping each other and working together. And I can see every single one of them. I know I'm going to be able to bring in at least 7 figures, some of them multiple 7 figures. And 2 of them are starting an enterprise right from scratch. Now, they already have lots of success track record. It's not like, please come join us if you've never owned a business and you just have an idea and you're thinking of maybe. So I can just tell you right now, don't apply because you're not a good fit. But if you have a great track record and you're starting up just like Dog did. He's got a fantastic track record as a comedian and a marketer for venues. And he started up carryoutcomedybingo.com, and now he's starting up another enterprise that I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'll wait till he makes the announcement of that. And an entrepreneur, he's always going to be starting something new. So that's the kind of launch, that's somebody I can work with, an action taker. He's got a great idea, and I know I can help them. And there's going to be, there's 2 other people in the group tomorrow going to start from scratch and zoom to 7 figures before the end of the year, if I have anything to do with it, which I do as the facilitator of the group. Now, if you want to join us, you think you're up to it, I am 100% financing people into the group, something I've never done before, and will almost undoubtedly never do it again because of all the chaos, though, and the uncertainty and the great shutdown. I understand people are in different financial situations, and I'm going to 100% finance people entering the group, and I'm going to guarantee revenue for every single person that comes into the group. So you're going to get guaranteed results, and you're not going to have to put anything down up front, but you will have to qualify, of course, if you're going to get into a room, the virtual room, with my superstar entrepreneurs that I am launching this virtual mastermind tomorrow. And if you want to find out, the link to go to is stevesipress.com/mastermind-special. stevesipress.com/mastermind-special, because this is my special, irresistible offer to action-taking, high-achieving, positive-thinking, opportunity-minded entrepreneurs. If we both believe that you are a good fit, you are going to get a special, irresistible offer of no fee to enter and guaranteed results. And Jerdog says, thank you for your help, Steve. Much gratitude for your mastermind experience last fall. That's right, Jerdog was at the All-Star Entrepreneur Mastermind that I held way up. Was that not way up? In the mountains in Vail, Colorado. Spectacular, beautiful views waking up to every day and masterminding and heading out on the Jeep tour up into the top of the mountains and all kinds of fun stuff, and great people were there. And Jerdog, I know that was the first one you came to of my All-Star Entrepreneur Masterminds, but I know it won't be your last. And however, I don't know when the next one's going to be allowed to be in this ridiculous world, when we'll be allowed to meet in person with people. I mean, you can't meet in person with more than 10 people, unless, of course, you're protesting, and then you can meet in person with 10,000 people, face-to-face, yelling in each other's faces, throwing things, looting, rioting. You can do anything you want, and you get the blessing of all the mayors and governors that a week ago were arresting people for if they, were walking down the street alone with no mask on, or surfing on the ocean alone, or de Blasio would say, if you go swimming on the beach on Memorial Day, we'll pull you out of the water. Really? What if I just go looting and destroy your whole city? Well, then you won't stop me from doing that. No, of course not. Anyway, I digress. That was yesterday, Topical Tuesday. Today, World Wide Web Wednesday. The world has changed. Things are moving online. I am joining the party, starting my first all virtual mastermind. I've got some top entrepreneurs from not even just, I was going to say all over the country, but they're even from international. So top entrepreneurs going to get fantastic results in my new virtual mastermind. I'm totally excited about starting tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get back to in-person mastermind events as well. But until then, time keeps moving. I'm not waiting. Hopefully you're not either. Hopefully you're taking action, doing things online, still have your plans to do things in person. And don't think you have to give up the online even when things open up again. Remember to live in an and world, not an or world. You can do both. And I hope you do. I hope you have a lot of fun and make a lot of money and have a lot less stress. Because to me, that's what running a business and that's what life is all about. The sun has set, the moon is out, and that'll do it for World Wide Web Wednesday. I'll catch you tomorrow on Throwback Thursday. Over and out. Bye-bye.